After all the scandals, shocking wins, and global admiration, life goes on. Here's what the world's most famous and infamous Olympic figure skaters are like now. Tonya Harding is probably the most infamous name in the history of figure skating, thanks to that whole attack on fellow figure skater Nancy Kerrigan back in 1994. Kerrigan was forced to withdraw from the Olympics after she was hit in the leg with a club, effectively eliminating her chances to qualify for the upcoming Olympic Games.
Nancy, I want to apologize again for being in the wrong place at the wrong time. I say that from the bottom of my heart, I really do.
Harding made the U.S. team, and she eventually told the authorities that she found out about the planned attack, but didn't come forward with the information. Thankfully, Kerrigan's injuries were not career-ending, and she ended up making the U.S. team as well. And so, the two women headed to Norway to compete, but Harding ended up finishing in 8th place, while Kerrigan earned a silver medal. Harding was 23 at the time, and seemingly had a long career ahead of her, but she was officially banned from the sport in June 1994, and was stripped of all the medals she'd won throughout her career. After her career ended, Harding took part in some other opportunities, including a celebrity boxing match and a stint on Dancing with the Stars. In 2017, the film I, Tonya, starring Margot Robbie as Harding, thrust the story back into the spotlight, and it was around this time that Harding started speaking out again.
You believe that you were a pawn.
Absolutely.
And yet you paid the ultimate price.
Yes, I did.
Harding has maintained a small social media presence over the years, giving fans occasional glimpses into her life. She turned 55 years old in 2025, and in 2024 she told people that her life was going well and she was working as a custodian.
And perhaps the most recognizable skater in the world, the 4-time national champion, 3-time world champion, Michelle Kwan.
Michelle Kwan is a household name when it comes to figure skating. She first competed for Team USA in the Olympics in Japan in 1998, taking home a silver medal following some impressive routines. Kwan returned to the big stage in 2002, competing in women's singles in Salt Lake City, Utah, and earning a bronze medal. In 2009, she switched gears when she enrolled at Fletcher School of Law and Diplomacy at Tufts University and earned a graduate degree in international relations. Over the next several years, Kwan put her degree to good use, even serving as an advisor to the U.S.-China Women's Leadership Exchange and Dialogue in 2012. In 2022, President Joe Biden nominated Kwan to be U.S. Ambassador to Belize, and she was confirmed for the role by the Senate in September of that year. She wrapped up the role in early 2025. Kwan has also fully embraced her role as a mom after welcoming 2 daughters. Kwan announced the birth of her second baby on December 11, 2025, in a candid Instagram post. She wrote in part, "My heart doubled in an instant the moment I held her in my arms, and watching my daughter walk into the hospital to meet her baby sister brought tears to my eyes." Nancy Kerrigan started ice skating when she was just 6 years old, quickly falling in love with the sport. She soon began lessons and eventually entered competitions. Kerrigan first qualified for the Olympics in the early 90s, heading to Albertville, France in 1992 to put her skills on display for Team USA. She ended up taking home a bronze medal and had hopes of returning one day. 2 years later, Kerrigan barely made it to Lillehammer after the attack, this time earning a silver medal. Kerrigan was inducted into the Figure Skating Hall of Fame in 2004 and has served as a correspondent for various competitions in the years since. However, tragedy never stopped coming for the former skater. In 2017, she revealed that she'd suffered 6 miscarriages while trying to grow her family and had to deal with the feeling of failure that came with that.
It was almost felt shameful, I think, because I couldn't do it on my own.
Thanks to fertility treatments, Kerrigan has welcomed 3 children, and she shifted her focus to being a mom. She told People magazine, "My job is being with my kids after school and asking them how their day was." In November 2023, Kerrigan released her first children's book titled Stronger Than She Thinks, and she's still a familiar face in the skating world. In January 2026, Kerrigan posted a couple of videos on Instagram while she attended the U.S. Figure Skating Championships. Johnny Weir started ice skating at age 12 after his family gifted him a pair of skates and lessons for Christmas. During his first year on skates, Weir qualified for the Junior Olympics. He first competed in the Olympics at the 2006 Winter Games in Turin, Italy, finishing 5th overall. He competed again in the 2010 Winter Games in Vancouver, finishing 6th. Although he didn't reach the podium in the Olympics, he won other medals in various competitions throughout his career before he retired from figure skating in October 2013. Weir has since broken into the entertainment world, specifically by way of broadcasting and reality television.
Oh, hi.
So nice to see you.
Upon announcing his decision to retire, Weir became an analyst, inking a deal with NBC to cover the 2014 Winter Games in Sochi. In 2020, he joined the cast of Dancing with the Stars, finishing in 6th place alongside his pro partner, Britt Stewart. Weir is also best friends with fellow former ice skater Tara Lipinski, and the two have linked up as fashion analysts and correspondents for a variety of events.
Welcome back to our coverage of
the 30 Rock Lunchtime Ice Skating Olympics.
He may have changed and grown up since his time under the Olympic spotlights, but he's still very much active in the sports world. Brian Boitano hails from California and broke into the ice skating scene when he was a teenager. In the early 80s, he qualified for the Olympics and competed in his first games in 1984 in Sarajevo, where he finished in 5th place. However, Boitano was back 4 years later with a vengeance, and he participated in the Olympics in Calgary, winning a gold medal in men's singles. Boitano returned to the Olympic stage in 1994, competing in Norway, but he didn't make the podium. After this Olympic outing, Boitano unofficially retired, at least from competing. In the years that followed, he went on tour and performed all over the globe. In September 2019, Boitano opened Boitano's Lounge in the Kindler Hotel in Lincoln, Nebraska. Although Boitano has shifted gears, he's still very connected to the figure skating circuit. In January 2026, he confirmed his presence at the 2026 Winter Games in Italy as a correspondent, hosting the USA Today podcast covering the games. Scott Hamilton got into ice skating at age 9, despite a variety of childhood illnesses. In 1980, he qualified for the U.S. Olympic team and competed in the Lake Placid Olympics, where he finished in 5th place. He returned to the Olympic stage in 1984, where he earned himself a gold medal in men's singles figure skating in Sarajevo. He retired from competing after this pinnacle career moment, though he continued skating and performing. Hamilton has had his fair share of health issues, including testicular cancer, which he successfully treated and beat. In the years that followed, however, Hamilton was diagnosed with multiple benign pituitary brain tumors, one in 2004, another in 2010, and a third in 2016. After undergoing surgery for the first 2 tumors, Hamilton decided to hold off on treating the third, and as long as it's asymptomatic, he has no plans to start.
If it doesn't do anything for another 36 years, I'll be 94 years old.
In 2014, he founded the Scott Hamilton Cares Foundation, a nonprofit with a mission to fund innovative, patient-centered, targeted treatments that fight cancer while preserving quality of life. Although Hamilton is still tied to the figure skating circuit, he no longer competes. Rosalynn Sumners was raised in Edmonds, Washington, and began skating when she was 7 years old. Starting in 1982, Sumners won 3 consecutive U.S. national championships and 1 world championship before qualifying for the 1984 Winter Olympics in Sarajevo. She'd take home her first medal, silver, at the Games, and then swiftly moved from competing to performing, joining Disney on Ice as part of its Stars on Ice tour. She retired from ice skating not long after that and completely changed the course of her life from that point forward. Sumners fell in love with a variety of aspects of home building and decor and started getting involved with interior design in her post-Olympics years. These days, Sumners lives a quiet, private life out of the spotlight alongside her husband, Bob Kane, whom she married in 2004. Caitlin Kitty Carruthers and Peter Carruthers are adopted siblings who competed as a pair throughout their figure skating careers. They competed together in the Winter Games in Lake Placid in 1980, finishing in 5th place. After honing their skills, the duo returned to the Olympic Games in 1984, where they won their first and only Olympic medal, a silver, in Sarajevo. The brother and sister decided to step away from the competition world after that, turning to performing, and in 1999, the pair was inducted into the United States Figure Skating Hall of Fame. Kitty met her husband, Brett Conrad, when she was in Ice Capades, and the two started a family together in Texas. Both she and her brother live fairly private lives, though Peter has worked as a skating analyst on television in the past. In March 2025, the Carruthers siblings appeared together for a special tribute event in Washington, D.C., alongside other well-known figure skaters. Kitty and Peter received a warm round of applause from the audience as they spoke about their time competing together. Nicole Bobek garnered attention when she won her first ever national championship at the age of 17. In 1998, she competed in her first Olympic Games, representing Team USA in Nagano, Japan. Despite her talent, Bobek didn't medal, finishing the competition in 17th place. But she loved ice skating and loved performing, so she continued to do so, touring with Champions on Ice through 2004. Her life off the ice, however, was not always easy. In 2010, she pleaded guilty to a charge of conspiracy to distribute drugs and was given 5 years of probation.
The fact that I wasn't going to jail couldn't have been more of a birthday gift ever in the whole entire world.
These days, Bobek lives in Lake Worth Beach, Florida, with her son, and she's still involved in figure skating, but this time as a coach. In October 2025, she released her memoir, Bobek the Wild One. In a candid Instagram post announcing her new book, Bobek wrote, "I pray that this book will be a guide for so many. It is nothing but my raw, authentic self. I want to thank my amazing team who never stopped believing in me." In 1968, Ty Babilonia and Randy Gardner were 8 and 10 years old, respectively, when they were paired together by ice skating coach Mabel Fairbanks. Their talents were undeniable, and they quickly became an iconic duo. In 1976, the two were off to Innsbruck, Austria, to compete in the Olympic Games. Babilonia and Gardner didn't medal, but did take the gold at the 1979 World Championships. By 1980, the pair was off to Lake Placid and ready to show off their talents on the world's biggest stage once more. Their dreams were cut short, however, when Gardner suffered an injury and the two were forced to withdraw. It didn't take long for them to make the decision to turn professional, and they performed in Icecapades and with Champions on Ice before retiring in 2008. Flash forward, and Babilonia and Gardner are still great friends. In 2025, Babilonia shared that she'd begun working on a film about her former coach Fairbanks, who died in 2001. As for Gardner, he has his own projects underway. Since coming out as gay in 2006, he's been looking forward to joining forces with Pride House LA ahead of the 2028 Olympic Games. In 1998, at the age of 15, Tara Lipinski took on a major role when she was chosen to represent Team USA at the Olympic Games in Nagano, Japan, and she certainly came through, simultaneously winning a gold medal and making history by becoming the youngest winner of an individual event in the history of the Winter Games. Despite having immense talent, Lipinski's competition years didn't last long, and she retired before turning 20. The reason? She had persistent hip injuries that kept her from doing what she loved. While Lipinski's career may have been short-lived, her drive and passion for figure skating didn't die. By 2012, she was working for NBC Sports and NBC Universal, covering various ice skating events, sometimes alongside Johnny Weir.
Hi, guys.
Lipinski has also had a ton of other opportunities in the entertainment business, from being a fashion correspondent for the Kentucky Derby to competing on season 4 of The Traitors on Peacock. More recently, Lipinski's life seemingly came full circle when her 2-year-old daughter skated for the first time.